Hello everyone, I'm here to show you how you can upload your tender content to our new tender library platform. And I'm pleased to say we have two simple options for this. One, which our team use, is to add manually each response. So first of all, we simply need to create a submission. So we add our details here in terms of the title of the bid that you submitted, the authority behind that bid, which is a list that you need to manage, and the contract details. If you wish to add those, they're useful for providing later on management information and just to confirm whether it's a live or completed bid or one else that you want to archive. So that's how we add the submission. Once we've done that, we can create the submission. I won't do that now, but simply I will show you what a submission looks like. Once you've created one, we have our starter pack responses here, and you can see all of the responses in this document are in here and navigable individually. So simply once you've done that, you're obviously then able to upload your individual questions and answers against that submission. So here we have our response button, so add new response. We'll click on that, and as you can see, I'm then able to link to the submission. I haven't got any that I can link to here purely because I haven't created any in our demo account, but simply it will show you the list of submissions you've done with some of the key details, including authority, so you can quickly verify the right one. Once you've got that list created, you can then add your area of answer to any answer. That'll help you find that later and filter down. And also to help you make sure that you're using your best scoring responses, you can add a response score. Alternatively, you can choose to evaluate the response with AI, which will then assign a score for you using our AI viewer tool, and then you don't need to add a response score yourself. Obviously, you can go back in at any time once you've had the feedback from the authority and update that later on. What I then need to do is copy and paste the actual content here. So I just show you quickly. I can copy and paste these questions and answers, put them in, and as you can see, there is a degree of rich text formatting provided within the software. You are obviously, as you're editing this, able to edit that as well. In terms of the actual formatting in the response. So it does provide rich text. It does also allow you to copy and paste in images and other details. So ultimately, you can actually create something which can also then be copied in out and pasted back out again with all that rich text formatting. We then have the ability, once we've done that, to create the response and or create a new. And what we mean by create a new is simply that we can retain the submission details in here so that we don't have to keep entering the submission in again and again if we're providing lots of responses. Now, this isn't a long process. It is super quick and hopefully super simple. But if someone is getting onboarded onto the system and you've got a large library of bids that you wish to get imported at one time, simply speaking, you may not be able to have the time to do all of that admin front. And so we have provided a solution for a quicker importing process. Quite simply, you will need to simply go on to a submission and then import documents where you can then click to upload files and ultimately then add any number of Word documents, PDFs, Excel documents from which it will then upload and extract any questions and answers from your document. So again, I'm not going to submit these because I don't want to put them up our demo account, but once you've done that, quite simply, if I cancel, you can then view what you've imported and see where the status of those files is. It will take a little bit of time just because of the solution in the back end being quite complicated, but you could come back in probably 20-30 minutes and see that all of your documents have been processed and your questions and answers have been uploaded. And once you've done that, you can just review what was in here and make sure that it hasn't pulled through any information incorrectly. It is very accurate. It's not 100%, but it does save a lot of time in the long run. The only thing to caveat though, it doesn't necessarily pull through, or it doesn't pull through images at the moment. That's something we hope to be able to introduce in the future. And some of the formatting will be more basic, just on the way that it is pulling the information out of those responses. But if you're looking to get content into your library and focus on the detail, then absolutely it's a good way to do that. And then you can focus your time on potentially putting a bit more information and richness into, for example, diagrams into the responses that you have that are the most commonly used responses that you have. So that's all there is to say about our importing functions, a big improvement on previous versions of Tender Library, and also I believe it provides the level of flexibility that our clients need. Thanks for watching. Cheers.